All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about a retirement strategy that's built for the world we're living in right now. A blueprint for 2026. Because, let's be real, the old rules, they just don't seem to apply anymore.
You know that feeling, right? You pull up your 401k app, you take a peek at the balance, and you have this weird mix of feelings. Part of you is thinking, okay, that's not terrible. But then the other part of your brain starts doing the math, and it immediately asks that dreaded question. Wait a second, am I doomed? And then you just close the app as fast as you can.
And it's no wonder you feel that way. Thinking about retirement right now is completely overwhelming. We've got this strange, stubborn inflation that just won't go away. The markets have been a total roller coaster. The future of Social Security feels like a giant question mark. Our expenses are so much higher than they were just a few years back. And of course, everyone you see online is giving you totally conflicting advice. It's a lot.
So, today, we are going to cut through all of that noise. We're going to break down a real, actionable retirement strategy for 2026. And I'm not talking about the generic stuff you've heard 1,000 times. We're talking about what actually matters now. It's all about designing stability in a world that feels, well, anything but stable. And hey, real quick, if this helps you out at all, if it makes you think about this stuff even a little bit differently, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and give this a thumbs up. It seriously helps a ton.
Okay, first things first. We absolutely have to tackle the biggest lie in retirement planning, which is the idea that it's all about hitting some magic giant number.
And this, right here, this is the core of it. For decades, we've all been conditioned to chase this giant pile of cash, 2 million, 3 million, whatever the scary number of the day is. But the 2026 strategy, it's not about the lump sum. It's about designing reliable, steady streams of income. This is such a crucial mindset shift. So let's dig into the numbers that cause all the anxiety. According to Fidelity, the average retired household spends about $70,000 a year. So that's our target, right? That's what we need to live on. But then you see this number. The Federal Reserve says the average 65-year-old couple has about $315,000 saved. Now, if you pull 70 grand from that, you're flat broke in less than 5 years. This is exactly why the magic number approach is so broken and, frankly, just terrifying. But you know what? It's also really misleading.
So what makes 2026 so different? Look, this isn't just the same old advice with a new year slapped on the cover. There are some really key changes happening right now that you can and you absolutely should be leveraging.
First up, the hard numbers. The contribution limits just keep going up. For 2026, we're projecting 401k limits to be close to $24,000, plus an $8,000 catch-up if you're over 50. I mean, think about that. That means someone over 50 could put away more than 30 grand a year into tax-advantaged accounts. That is a massive opportunity.
And then we've got these two other huge factors. First, the Secure Act 2.0 pushed the starting age for required minimum distributions, your RMDs, all the way to 73. That's great. It gives your money more time to grow tax deferred. But, and this is a big but, it could also mean you're facing a massive tax bomb down the road when you're finally forced to take that money out. This makes tax planning non-negotiable. Then there's inflation. With over 20% cumulative inflation just since 2020, if your retirement plan is from 2018, it's already obsolete. It's a historical document.
Okay, enough with the scary big numbers. Let's do the math that actually matters. This is how you figure out your real target, and trust me, it's way simpler and a whole lot less intimidating.
Okay, let's start with that $70,000 annual income we need. That's the goal. This is what you want to live on every year.
Now, let's subtract the income stream that almost everyone forgets when they're panicking late at night, Social Security. For an average couple, we're talking about roughly $45,600 a year.
And right there, that's the whole point. Your investments don't need to generate the full 70 grand. They only need to cover this gap, just over $24,000 a year. Doesn't that already feel completely different? And this brings us to the final step. If we apply the good old 4% rule to that income gap, your new savings target is about $610,000. Now look, that's still a lot of money. Nobody's saying it's easy, but it is a universal way from that $2 million number that makes so many people just throw their hands up and quit. This feels achievable. So now that we have a realistic target, what do we actually do about it? Let's get into the action plan. It all breaks down into a really simple 4-step framework for success. Here it is. It's this simple. Step 1, calculate your personal income gap.
not some generic number. Step 2, maximize every single tax-advantaged account you have access to, especially your 401k match, which is literally free money. Step 3, and this is so important, diversify your tax exposure. And step 4 is this brilliant little mind trick. Automate a 1% annual increase to what you're contributing. You will not even feel it, I promise, but the impact over time is massive.
Let's talk a little more about that tax diversification, because it's a game changer. See, if all your money is in a traditional pre-tax 401k, you're kind of stuck. You have to pay income tax on every single dollar you take out. But if you split your savings between traditional, Roth, and a regular brokerage account, you create flexibility. You give yourself options. Some years, maybe you pull from your tax-free Roth, others from your brokerage. That controls what lets you manage and minimize your taxes in retirement.
Now, here's the hidden trap that nobody likes to talk about: healthcare. Fidelity estimates that the average couple retiring today will need an extra $315,000 just for healthcare costs. This is exactly why a health savings account, an HSA, is one of the most powerful retirement tools there is. It's got a triple tax advantage. Maxing that thing out is one of the best gifts you can give your future self.
Another major threat as you get closer to retirement is something called sequence of returns risk. So imagine this. You finally retire, you pop the champagne, and in your very first year, the market tanks 25%. You're suddenly pulling money out of a shrinking portfolio. That can be devastating and permanently damage your plan. The goal in early retirement isn't just about maximizing returns. It's about surviving that volatility.
So what can you do right now? Like today, as soon as this is over. First, just log into your retirement account. Just look at it. While you're in there, increase your contribution by just 1%. Then, do a quick check to make sure your beneficiaries are up to date. And finally, take 5 minutes. That's all it takes. And calculate your own personal income gap. These tiny little actions are the first dominoes that create huge momentum down the line.
I want to leave you with this thought. Just imagine your 60-year-old self is watching you right now, and they're either incredibly grateful for the small, disciplined choices you're making today, or they're deeply, deeply frustrated that you waited. You, right now, you get to decide which one it's going to be.
So what do you think? Did this change how you look at retirement at all? Let me know down in the comments what your biggest retirement fear is. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. And please share this with someone you know who keeps saying, "Oh, I'll start saving next year." Because 2026 isn't waiting around, and neither should you.